Now the next question that comes up is, okay, we accept that in any manner you approach Krishna, you will become perfect. You will get out of the cycle of birth and death within this material world. You will become liberated. Let us assume that. Now the question that arises is, if people like Kamsa, people like Shishupala, they were always offending Krishna and Krishna's devotees, and if they could attain perfection, why should I take the process of bhakti and execute Vaidhi bhakti? Every day you have to get up morning 4 o'clock. Every day you have to chant 16 malas. You have to follow the 4 regulative principles. You have to fast on Ekadashi. You have to fast on Janmashtami. It's a very difficult process. To approach Krishna by bhakti or by sneha or by love, it is very difficult. Because if you have to maintain the love of somebody, it's not easy. You have to remember the person's birthday. You have to wish that person on a birthday. You have to give some gift. You have to take the person out for some party. So many things you have to do. இல்லையா? யாரு கூடயாவது இப்போ பாசமா இருக்கணும்னா என்னென்ன பண்ண வேண்டி இருக்கும்? பர்த்டேக்கு ஏதாவது கிஃப்ட் கொடுக்கணும், ஏதாவது சினிமாக்கு அழைச்சிட்டு போகணும், பார்ட்டி கொடுக்கணும், இதெல்லாம் பண்ணணும். ஒன்றும் பண்ணாம ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆக முடியுமா? அதே டைம்ல யாரு கூடயாவது இனிமே ஆகணும்னா ரொம்ப ஈஸி. எல்லாரும் முன்னேறி நின்றுட்டு இருக்கும்போது போய் நல்லா ஒன்று கன்னத்தில் வந்து நல்லா வந்து அரைஞ்சிட்டா ஆச்சு, அவ்வளோதான். ஃபார் லைஃப் ஹீல் பிகம் யுவர் எனிமி. டு பிகம் an enemy is very easy. All you have to do is in front of everybody go and give him one nice slap on the face. For life he'll become your enemy. You don't have to do anything. No karcha, no time needed, nothing. Very easy to become an enemy. So why do we have to take all these austerities, all this tapasya and difficulties? If I become an enemy of Krishna, I don't have to chant 16 malas. I don't have to follow 4 regulative principles. I don't have to get up for Mangalarti. So much easier, no? I can also attain perfection the same. Like you are taking so much difficulty and becoming a devotee. What's the use? Instead, very easily, without following all these things, I'll become an enemy of Krishna. I'll also attain perfection like you. Now, that actually, there are two aspects to this argument. First of all, if we have to become enemies of Krishna who become purified, then we have to become enemies of the scale of Hiranyaksha and Kamsa and Shishupala, who are so powerful that they could become Kantaka. They could become thorns in the thorns even for Devatas. We should be able to go and conquer the Devatas, Indra and all those people, all the Brahmaloka. We should be able to conquer all that. That level of Asura we have to become. Otherwise, it is not possible. It is said that even Kamsa was so powerful that Indra, when he would see him, he would start shivering. That level of power he had attained. That means nobody could control them. Such level of Asuras, when they are there, then Krishna personally comes, then they get purified. And they have to Manam, all their mind has to aveshya. It has to become absorbed in Krishna, even in enmity. Not that simply engage in sense gratification and forget Krishna, then you are doomed. Even though all these asuras were against Krishna, they were constantly thinking of him. That is what actually purified them. That kind of enmity to Krishna is needed. That much enmity we don't have, and it's not possible also for us to develop, number one. Number two, another thing that we have to understand is that the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami explains this principle that even the devotees as well as the asuras have attained the lotus feet of Krishna by giving a wonderful example. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said, Tad arinam priyanam cha praptam ekam ivoditam. That when the Shastras are saying that arinam priyanam, ari means enemy, and priyana means those who are dear. When it is said in the Shastras, praptam ekam iva uditam. When it is said in the Shastras that praptam ekam, both the arinam and the priyanam, both the enemies and the devotees of the Lord, they have attained the same goal. When it is said in the Shastras, what it means is that tad Brahma Krishnayor aikyat Kiranarkopama Jushoho. The example is given just like Kirana and Arka. Arka means the sun. Kirana means the sunshine. Just as the sun and the sunshine are non-different. When we stand in the sunshine, what do we say? The sun is beating down upon me. Actually, sun is not beating down upon me. If the sun comes and touches me, I'll get vaporized. What am I actually touching? I'm actually touching the sunshine. But I am saying I'm touching the sun. There is no difference. But at the same time, there is a difference. Even though the sunshine is the sun, at the same time, sunshine is not the sun also. The sun is the sunshine, but the sunshine is not the sun. In a similar way, Brahma Krishnayor Aikya, because the Brahman, the impersonal Brahman and Krishna are one. There is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's bodily effulgence, which is the impersonal Brahman. When we say that the enemies of Krishna also attain the same goal as the devotees of Krishna, what it means is that the enemies of Krishna have attained the impersonal Brahman. They have attained the effulgence of Krishna, whereas the devotees have attained the personal association of Krishna. This is the difference. Although, in effect, it is the same, because Krishna is not different from his own effulgence, from his Brahman effulgence. At the same time, attaining the Brahman effulgence is not equal to attaining Krishna like the devotees. So this attaining this Brahman effulgence is available even for the impersonalists, the jnanis. The jnana yogis also attain the impersonal Brahman, the asuras also attain the impersonal Brahman. Attaining the impersonal Brahman, therefore, is not considered a very big achievement by devotee. Devotee wants to achieve personal association of Krishna. And this is the reality which is explained in the Vedic scriptures. That if we have to become devotees of Krishna, and by becoming devotees of Krishna, we can develop all the good qualities and we can become liberated from this cycle of birth and death. Giving us liberation and taking us back to Godhead is possible only by the benediction of Krishna or Vishnu, not by any of the devatas.